All right, welcome back, Truth Seeker. We got another turd in the world of YouTube trying to take a shot at Gematria. And his name is Jake the Asshole, which is probably the most fitting name for any accountant who's ever tried to take a stab at my work. And Gary Grinberg, also known as Gary the Numbers Guy, is lurking out there. He was trolling today and stalking me into Yeah Right the Matrix's channel. Again, if either of you are out there, let's debate. When it comes to Jake the Asshole, let's debate if Gematria is relevant. Again, this guy, he has a 3-hour live stream here. Somebody let me know this. His live stream begins by talking about how he thinks the football player Trevor Lawrence is a woman in a man suit wearing a skin-tight mask that's from Hollywood. It's like, okay, so that's the level this guy's on, right? But then in the same stream, he gets into how Gematria is bullshit. And again, this guy reminds me of like a flat earther type, a conspiracy theorist type, just puts out his bullshit opinion out there, makes everybody who's questioning what's going on in the world look stupid, and then tries to denounce the best work in the history of the conspiracy proving world, which is yours truly. And I can say that with a straight expression just like this all day, every day, because that's what my work is. Undeniable, evidence-based. You can use it to accurately forecast what is coming, as we've proven for a decade. And you got some twerp like this just putting out straight up bullshit. This person's a transgender. This person's a clone. This person's in a bodysuit. It's just, this stuff is garbage. So Jake the Asshole, if you're out there, call in and debate, you will get put in your place. Gary the Numbers Guy, he tries to pretend that he's not about Gematria, but the funny thing is he makes people sign an NDA and charges them a lot of money to learn about it. And Gary used to call into TFR every Wednesday night in 2016 until he stopped after he got embarrassed for about the 15th straight call where he was wrong and I was right. And today he's lurking while I'm talking to Yeah Right the Matrix, and he starts spamming the chat about how I'm an agent, putting out this false information, and then saying that Donald Trump's the truth. At least Jake the Asshole gets that part right. I watched some of this guy's stream, and then I fast forward to the part where he started talking about Gematria, but he's not caught up in the whole politics, Jake the Asshole. So we'll give credit where it's due. But here, I just want to listen to Jake the Asshole give his take on what Gematria is like. And again, when I listen to this, I think, well, I mean, the guy did prove in the opening statements that he's a moron. Can you imagine a woman getting into a man suit? He's explaining how he doesn't even think Trevor Lawrence, the person inside the suit's as tall as they really are. But imagine getting into this suit of a bigger person. I guess he probably got done watching Avatar. But then imagine having to be in this suit and then, like, how's this even working? Do you have like a submarine type thing where it goes up from your head to the mask so that you can actually see through Trevor Lawrence's, I guess, fake eyes? And then how are you throwing a football? I mean, people like this are a fucking joke. And then to attack my work. And it was funny. He was watching a clip of Jim Bob and his panel of goons. And he was too dumb to even understand what I was saying, too. I mean, essentially what Jake the Asshole proves is what I've always been saying. The critics of my work are really dumb people. And sadly, there's a lot of them in the conspiracy theory community. And notice most conspiracy theory stuff is just that. It's absolute trash. It's based in nothing but nonsense and ignorance and people's opinions. Meanwhile, what I do is based in knowledge, in fact, in proof, and evidence. And for a moron like this, they still don't get it. So anyway, here, we'll listen to Jake give his summary of what he thinks Gematria is, and pay attention to how dumb his summary is in light of the reality. And then we'll see. Maybe he'll call in and try and defend himself, which I can guarantee you he's not going to be able to. But here we go. Jake the Asshole in his own words. And nice house. Or as I say, nice hat. And by the way, also, before I even play his clip, actually, earlier in this stream, he's complaining. He's been watching my number one troll who likes to cut and edit and take things out of context and slander. We just had another good weekend, and he's put up a video about how terrible the weekend was. It's another winning weekend. But anyway, he's been watching that guy's videos too, and now this guy right here, I don't even know, he's jealous of my house. He's talking about that in the stream. He's like, man, I wish I had a house like that. Well, you'd probably have a house like that if you were as intelligent as I was, because you probably would have made better choices in your life. Again, my house is not from anything having to do with gematria. I had a house before I even found out this knowledge. But anyway, here comes the assuming moron to give his false analysis of what he can't comprehend because he's too much of a fucking idiot. Okay, here we go. Jake the asshole in his own words.
And so my thing is with these numbers is you can extrapolate any sort of stupid thing, and it's along the same lines of like pretending to talk to the dead. You know, like I forget the name of that one guy who pretended to talk to people's dead relatives. You guys seen, I forget the name of the show or the guy who did it, but he used to have like a crowd of people and he'd be like, oh, did somebody sitting over here lose a loved one recently? Someone would be like, yeah, I did. Oh, I totally knew that. I could feel that you lost a loved one. And like, it made you sad. And it was like, you were depressed for a while after losing this loved one. Yeah. Oh, and over here, I'm getting a name that starts with like a K. Is there anyone that knows a person with a name that starts with a K? I do. My cousin Kevin, he died in a car wreck. Yeah, I totally knew that. That's why I knew that somebody over here had a loved one with a name that started with a K. I could feel it. It's like one of those type of things. John Edwards, there it is. Yeah, they did a South Park episode about it. Yeah. Yes, so South Park did a really good breakdown of that. So I think that's the same thing with this gematria. I really think it's like a magic trick sort of thing. Or another one is where they pretend to hypnotize people. So these hypnotism shows where they're like, oh, I'm going to hypnotize you. And when you wake up, you're going to act like a chicken. And then the person does. The person does it because they're up on stage and everyone's watching and laughing. And so whenever you see like these hypnotism shows, it's just like a big trick, basically, where like the person's not really hypnotized. They're just doing whatever goofy thing the person says. So I feel like this is like a trick. It's all just a big trick, you know, like, oh, well, 49. And if you type in Elvis's wiener, it comes out to 49. And then when you type in the Queen's pubes, it comes out to 49. And then this game is taking place on the 49th day of the year. So, I mean, totally, then that means this team should win. So again, I think this is just a big trick, a big show that Zach Hubbard puts on. And he pretends like he's decoding some shit. He knows damn well that he's not.
Okay, so again, I don't even know how these statements can possibly be made. Again, a decade of accurately forecasting the future, from sports to what's coming in the news to elections to COVID and beyond. And again, it's nothing like what he said. It's more like what just happened in the last live stream, explaining why the Warriors are at the White House with Joe Biden on the 17th, which is just complimentary of the point I was making on June 2nd when I covered why Joe Biden gave a 17-minute speech saying the number 17 over and over as the Celtics rallied from 17 down, scoring 17 unanswered to win the game, while they're still on 17 championships, which they stayed on. And again, Joe Biden, whose Secret Service name is Celtic, who announced he was running for president on the day John Havlicek, number 17, died 17 days after his birthday. So I'm talking about that. And then Cousin Mar, who was literally homeless, who found my channel after Kobe and bet on what I was talking about in Rig Sports and won so much money it got him off the street and to a position where he could get a job again and has reestablished his life. Cousin Mar calls him the stream and says, hey, Zach, did you see that Chris Ford, who played for the Celtics, who was the 17th pick of the draft, is dead on the same day he's at the White House? And how many times have we talked about the same thing? Somebody being at the White House, connected to the sports championship, and dead the same day. Aaron Hernandez was the most blatant example. The day the Patriots are at the White House, Aaron Hernandez is dead in his jail cell by the numbers. And again, we're showing the same things every year, explaining the significance of 17 in the NBA. You know, the day LeBron went from the 17th state to the Lakers on the first day of the 7th month, I said that day, I said, watch, LeBron will win the Lakers their 17th championship in his 17th season. Jake the asshole, maybe not smart enough to count, but ends the 14th letter, B's the second, A's the first, added up 17. And you know what? Guess who just jumped in the room? Unless it's a troll. I don't know if it's really him or not, but somebody did come in the room named Jake the asshole. And if it is him, I'm going to let him come on and try and defend his point. Is this the real Jake the asshole? Maybe not. Maybe it's just a troll. Jake the asshole, if it's the real one, you're on.
Who do you think is the enemy? The Saudi of Christians or the Jesuits? And be real. This time, don't fucking ignore it, bro. I'm coming after your channel. And I'm coming after you with all my heart and soul. And I'm gonna kill you, Zach. I'm telling you. I got your address down. I'm not playing. You cocksucking Jesuit motherfucker. And fuck your subscribers. And fuck Enter the Stars. Shaking my head. I'm coming for you. You faggot.
Well, we both know you're not. But hey, if you want to come to my door, hey, oh, he already got off the stream. I wouldn't mind if that guy came to my door. That's not the real Jake the Asshole, by the way. It's obviously not the same voice. But I think that is a few live streams ago, he like even had his sister call in for him, but I think it's that same person. But yeah, I wouldn't mind if that guy came to my door, you know, reason to test out the old 3.5-inch shells. But anyway, if the real Jake the Asshole's out there and you want to come speak for yourself, again, the floor is still open. But yeah, I mean, guys like this are just unbelievable. It's like, this is the problem with the world. I mean, the guy literally does a presentation on how he thinks Trevor Lawrence is a woman in a man's suit. And then the thing that's amazing is that he's getting super chats while presenting, which probably encourages him to come on and do the next video. He's got like somebody gave him a $50 super chat while he was talking about that, another one. And again, I've noticed that when you have really lame content that's absolutely worthless, it seems to get the money just thrown at you left and right on YouTube. It's mind-boggling, but somehow it is that way. And again, it'll keep a Jake the Asshole, you know, making content. Oh, well, tomorrow I'll say this person is whatever. But yeah, again, I mean, I'm looking at the, it's like, okay, here. When I just went to the Yale campus, you guys, when we went to Yale and we engaged with the students, every single student we engaged with understood it, appreciated it, totally got the point I was making. People were mind-blowing. People loved it. Again, what is the commonality at Yale? You're talking about very intelligent people. People at Yale really appreciated what I came and shared with them. And again, it was something really simple. Well, some of it I got more complicated, but again, Yale, 4-letter word. Y's the 25th letter, A's the 1st, L's the 12th, E's the 5th. Added up, Yale 43. George H.W. Bush, who went to Yale, was the 43rd vice president. His son, who went to Yale and was in Skull and Bones like him, was the 43rd president. And when he became number 43, it came down to Florida, where his brother was the 43rd governor. And then you can also explain the relevant ciphers where Florida equals 43 and Skull and Bones equals 41. And his father was the 41st president. But all of those people at Yale who we engaged with understood and appreciated. And again, you're talking about the cream of the crop, right? The best students in the nation, the best minds. So imagine if America was full of minds like Yale. This work would be flourishing, taking off, things would be changing. Why is it not? Because the people are lemmings. It is a society of morons. They'd rather listen to an idiot in a top hat talk about how Trevor Lawrence is a woman in a man suit with a fake mask like the movie Takeoff, or not Takeoff, Face Off. It's pathetic, you guys. It's also part of the reason. I mean, Google did push it in 2015, the flat earth thing. They made sure the flat earth psyop was everywhere. They changed the mathematical formula for the curvature of the earth for all the flat earth tards. But again, it's not just that they pushed it. The reason that thing went viral is because so many people are inept, you know? I believe Jake the Asshole is also a flat earther, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, again, I mean, his whole analysis of what gematria is, I mean, what he was saying is there is bullshit like that in the world. Like, oh, I'm detecting that somebody, I get what he's saying, but how you could ever say that my work is like that is just insanity. Again, do you really think it's a coincidence? Like all the things that we've dug up that are undeniable from what I just said about Joe Biden and the Celtics and Havlicek and now Chris Ford, to what I found out about 9/11. Again, the information that I dug up on 9/11 should have woke up the whole world about all the things that went down in 1968 and why 33 years later. And again, you just learned gematria, you know, World Trade Center equals 185. Oh, it just happened to come down 185 days after Osama bin Laden's birthday and everything else about that day. But anyhow, that's Jake the Asshole. And then Gary. Again, Gary coming on and saying that Trump's the real deal and I'm an agent. Again, Gary represents all of the half-awake people in this nation right now. You know, I understand why half-awake people have gravitated towards the Republican Party and Trump, because their rhetoric has been better in recent times in the time of the COVID pandemic. But at the same time, these people should see that it was Trump who was the president when COVID happened. Again, Trump could have said, no, we're not going along with this world agenda of lockdowns and mandates and masks and muzzles and jabs. But again, Trump's part of that same Jesuit fraternity that all the other faces of the pandemic are and that Biden is. They're all Jesuits, and they're all operating by the same code. Again, we showed how every last Jesuit face of the pandemic, from Klaus Schwab to Gavin Newsom to Donald Trump to Cuomo to Anthony Fauci to Boris Johnson, how they were all brought together under one number. And again, you can only appreciate the number by understanding gematria. When you spell out coronavirus, it equals 56. Like COVID vaccines, 56. Like Society of Jesus is 56, the formal title of the Jesuits. Trump declares the pandemic on March 13th, 2020, 2 days after the World Health Organization. He does it on a 56 date numerology, and 2020 was 56 years after his Jesuit education began. Anthony Fauci equals 56. Gavin Newsom equals 56, who says 56% of California will get coronavirus in 8 weeks, which is 56 days. Cuomo, who went to Fordham like Trump, is the 56th governor of New York and becomes the mayor of America. Again, by understanding the numbers behind the words, you can understand why the same numbers coded on everybody. The first mayor to declare the emergency for COVID just happened to be the 56th mayor of Seattle. You know, in Bill Gates' backyard. Melinda Gates, the wife of Bill Gates at the time, just happened to be in her 56th year of life when it all went down. And all the million other 56s, the whole thing with Project Runway and COVID Kapoor, whose name equaled 56, and yada, yada, yada. Again, to say that gematria is bullshit is just idiotic. Did this guy, Jake the Asshole, put out a book in September of 2020, relatively early in the pandemic, showing why the mandates and everything they had going would run through the year of the tiger, which was exactly correct? Of course he didn't. You know, did this guy accurately forecast why the lockdowns would start on March 22nd? Did he accurately forecast why the Moderna stock would blow up on May 7th? Did he predict a million other things correct about the pandemic as we did as time went on? No. You know, did this guy understand why the Bitcoin was going to skyrocket by February 14th, the year it did? No. How did we know all these things and accurately forecast it? From knowing gematria. How did I accurately tell people when to get out of Bitcoin? By knowing gematria. You know, how many futures has this guy called in the world of sports? This guy called both teams in the Super Bowl several times in the last few years? No. NBA, MLB? No. Because I have. I mean, again, for some goon like this to get on and say this shit, it's just like, you are a fucking joke, dude. Nobody needs your analysis of Trevor Lawrence as a woman in a man suit. That's not doing anything for the world. Nothing. And then again, for anyone who wants to watch this guy's stream, the NFL is a cult, Jake the Asshole. Again, you can watch the stream and start saying like, man, I wish I had money like Zach. I wish I had a house like Zach. Well, stop wishing and start improving your life and be smarter and make better decisions and use your brain. Again, you know, there's a reality in this world. Dumber people prosper, dumber people do not prosper. More intelligent people do, you know. There's a reason. And sadly, though, the thing about a Jake the Asshole, and understand, Jake, your channel's never been deleted. I've been deleted 20-some times. 20-some times I've been deleted. You know, there's a reason your channel's never been deleted by YouTube. Your channel hasn't been deleted because the authorities aren't worried about a guy claiming that men and women are supposedly this gender and that gender. They're not worried about people talking out of their ass with opinions, you know? Okay. Now, again, I want to pull back up this older post. It's in my book. Give me a minute to pull up this post. Trump World Economic Forum. 222, January 21st. That should pull it up here. Oh, that's also another good one. Hold on. Well, the search is not working real well here, or it could be because I've referenced the same thing in a million other posts, but I want people to see this. Okay, this is the post right here. Okay. So remember, coronavirus supposedly arrived in the US January 15th, 2020. And it was confirmed on January 21st, 2020. And of course, it arrived in Seattle, King County, when Corona means crown, the land of the biggest needle in Bill Gates' backyard. But again, January 15th is supposedly when the flight lands in Seattle from China that brings over the first case. And again, confirmed January 21st. Trump's trade deal with China was January 15th. He said the world would never be the same again. And then on January 21st, he traveled to the World Economic Forum to gloat about the trade deal, when again, the World Economic Forum was the main sponsor of Event 201, the coronavirus pandemic simulation. But notice how perfect the ritual is. Again, Gary, the numbers guy, trolling this morning, saying, I'm the agent, Trump's the real deal. Come on and tell me how this is a coincidence, Gary. Here's Gary, the numbers guy, who just can't see through Donald Trump, the puppet on strings. Like even today, Trump's story about returning to social media by the numbers. Every day it's by the same damn number pattern. Anyway, Trump, it was his 222nd day of his age that he's at the World Economic Forum. For a tard like Jake the asshole, again, we're just taking the alphabetic order. A is 1 up to Z is 26 and adding up the letters of World Economic Forum. W is the 23rd letter of the alphabetic order. O is the 15th. R is the 18th, so on. World Economic Forum 222 just happens to be there on his 222nd day of his age. Again, to gloat about his trade deal with China. This is hours before the news breaks in the U.S. that coronavirus is here from China. Again, think about the mockery. Trade deal. Remember, at Event 201, only 2 CDCs from the world participate in the simulation, America's and China's. And who's been in China for longer than America's existed? The Jesuits, who Trump's part of. Wuhan coronavirus, what they called it in the beginning, 222. New York, New York, where the Event 201 simulation was, 222. And again, from 9/11 happening to the day the pandemic was declared, March 11, 2020, exactly 222 months later. Event 201, the name of the simulation, 222. Running the alphabetic order in reverse. C is 1 back to A is 26. Order out of chaos, 222. Again, the reason more people don't appreciate this and get it is because they're a special kind of stupid. If you come watch this guy's video where he's playing the clip of me talking to the Jim Bob panel of morons, this guy was, you could just tell he was like too dumb, just like Jim Bob's panel was too dumb to understand what I was explaining. You can just see the look in the face. You can just, well, you can only see the look if you're more intelligent yourself. And again, when you are a more intelligent person and you walk through this earth for all of your life, realizing that you're essentially, again, I know people think this sounds arrogant, but my teachers for all of my life have been telling me that I'm superior to all of my peers. Coaches, teachers. Zach, you're special. Zach, you're different. I've never had anyone like you in my life. That's when you start to realize that you are superior to others. And then it becomes frustrating when you're so superior that the other people are so fucking dumb that they can never see the obvious, and then they're ridiculing you because they think their intelligence in their Dunning-Kruger effect. Anyway, that's this guy. Hey, moron, go back and watch that clip where I was talking about Jim Bob and his panel of idiots about 1117 and 187, and then go read the story about Lisa Marie Presley, who was taken to the hospital at 1117. And I put out a video before the headline came out that she was dead, why we'd probably be reading about her dead later that day. 1117, the 187th prime, Lisa Marie Presley, 187, homicide code. And whose birthday did she die 187 days after? Oh, Tom Hanks's, the biggest star of the new Elvis movie. Golden Globes 54, on the 54 date numerology this year, like Elvis's first concert in 54. Then she's dead at 54. Let's not forget, before I even, when that news broke that she was hospitalized, I was in the middle of finishing the post on the dead USC Heisman winner, dead 43 years after winning the Heisman when USC equals 43, and now he died 54 days after the current Heisman winner, who also went to USC, who was born on the day leaving 43 days left in the year. And again, USC equals 43 like football, Jesuit Order 54, Cable 54, the enemy of the world and they live. But yeah, I mean, again, the reason you don't have a nice house and you're jealous of my life, to be perfectly blunt, is because I'm a superior human being to you, Jake the asshole, Jake the nobody that nobody needs to hear from. You might have one woman in the world that sends you $50 super chats, but I guarantee you she's a bimbo and a moron too. Probably a trust fund baby with no brains. Anyway, this shit is undeniable. And if I go to Yale and show it, the people with the high IQs like yours truly, they get it. When I go to Jake the asshole, the bum, who thinks Trevor Lawrence is a woman in a man suit, who thinks the earth is flat, he's like, oh, I think this is like some kind of magic trick deception because I'm too fucking dumb to get it. And Gary, the numbers guy, you're not too dumb, but you're just a pathetic little wanker who wants to, only share this information so that it financially benefits you. Your only motivation in the game. And then all my moronic trolls will be like, that's your motivation too. Shut the fuck up, morons. I was here for 5 years straight every single day and never raised a penny. Have you ever seen anyone do anything like that in your life? No, you haven't. You go out and work every day for five straight fucking years, 10 plus hours a day like I did, pump out 10,000 fucking videos and put out the knowledge to change the world and do it for nothing and take a bunch of losses and cars crashing through your house and all the shit I had to do. Threats in the mail, weirdos coming to my door, dead squirrels on my doorstep as Montegraph makes a video about me and a dead squirrel saying, don't be talking about my employees like Dabu7 and Richie from Boston. Anyway, this is one of 1,000 proofs of Donald Trump, the puppet on strings. Another one is today. Trump's returning to social media 218 days after his birthday. Remember how he has presidential alert at 2:18 sharp? Remember when he sent out a text to all of us at 2:18? It's because Trump in Gematria equals 218, as does Holy Roman Empire, which is alive and well within the Catholic Church who he serves. That's why they say the Holy Roman Empire folded on August 6th, 1806, which is the 218th day of the year, which is all part of our fake his story. So anyway, and by the way, just with regards to Trump being over in Davos as they confirm coronavirus is in the U.S., just look how Davos, Switzerland, and Seattle, Washington overlap. The exact same in 3 out of the 4 ciphers. What we call the most pure cipher, the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology, they're both 68. Coronavirus coined in 68, the same year fentanyl was approved. Pretty much the 2 biggest killers, according to the stats we get in the U.S. right now, just both coined in 68 conveniently. Again, FDA approves fentanyl in 68, coronavirus coined that year. Again, 1968, year of major assassinations, year World Trade Center construction began, 911 made the national emergency dialing code, 2001 A Space Odyssey, the New York Jets only Super Bowl winning season, Boeing out of Seattle debuts their jumbo jetliner. Again, the Seattle construction firm Magnuson Klemenk Associates, one of the main construction firms for the World Trade Center project, the City by the Sea, the Poseidon architecture on the World Trade Center. Again, a whole nother topic. But also Seattle, Washington's 94. For the record, the word terror is 68 and 94. Again, the World Trade Centers opened on the 94th day of 73 after construction began in 68. Again, terror 94, 68. Seattle heavily connected to 9/11, heavily connected to COVID, where both agendas are connected to each other. And again, Bill Gates, when he declared his decade of vaccines, he did that in Davos, Switzerland on the 94th day of his age. Exactly a decade before the COVID pandemic in his backyard. Not to mention him and Melinda were married on the first day of 94. Not to mention the Seattle Seahawks, their only Super Bowl winning season, the 94th NFL season where they beat Denver and Denver equals 94 and it was Super Bowl 48 and Seahawks also equals 48. And they won with 43 points where Seattle Seahawks equals 43. And then Russell Wilson's grandpa died at age 94. And then Bill Gates' dad died at age 94 in 2020. And his mom died back in 1994. Excuse me. 94 was the same year Kurt Cobain died. Just happened to die 206 days before Bill Gates' birthday, when in Jewish gematria, sacrifice is 206, and 206 is the Seattle area code. Nobody heard of Bill Gates in 94 until about the time that happened. When I say nobody, almost nobody, unless you were like a big nerd really in the world of tech, Bill Gates wasn't a celebrity until 94. That was his breakout year, Playboy interview and all that. So Kurt Cobain, the big star in Seattle, dies, synced up with Bill Gates. And then, Bill Gates loses his mom that year and becomes, the world's smartest, richest guy. So again, where's Jake the asshole at? Where's Jake the asshole at about how bullshit gematria is? That 212 goes with a million things with COVID. In the UK, they write the date 2nd of December that day. Go back and see what day the Pfizer GlaxoSmithKline vaccine got approved in the UK. The first place it was approved in the world, it was 212. They've done a lot of rituals since then with vaccine approvals in 212. They use these numbers systematically. Go on all day. But so far, neither turd has entered the room to debate. So I'll tell you what, the top pinned post is for Gary or Jake the asshole. But if somebody wants to come in and debate for them, again, you can take on Gary's position that Donald Trump is a servant of the people and a good guy. If you want to defend that point of view, try it out. We'll see how many holes I can poke in it. And if you want to take on Jake the asshole's point of view, that, Trevor Lawrence is a woman in a man suit and gematria is bullshit, you can come on and do that too. So, exactly, there is no debate. All of my critics will not debate me. They'll make videos talking to the screen, talking to themselves, acting like they're high and mighty. And what else is annoying is just like losers in this world who'd be nothing without me. Their only claim to fame was copying me and getting some clout off that. It's amazing how losers like Simple Troll and RFG are now coming together to try and attack me. Neither of those guys would have ever had a single subscriber if it wasn't for me. Every last one of my haters is a pathetic fucking loser who's jealous, who is inferior by a lot. And I don't give a shit who complains about my arrogance. I wouldn't be arrogant if it wasn't true. I wish I had Zach's house. Well, if you weren't a fucking retard, you might. Nobody wants to come in and debate for the turds? Who wants to take the turd's point of view? For the person who says sports gematria ruined me numerous times. No, he hasn't ruined me at all. He only proves that he's a fucking loser. Have you seen his face yet? Do you know his name? Does he ever come on to debate? He made a video saying he would not come on to debate because he knew I would just cut him off. And then he was in the stream and I said, I'll give you 10 minutes to just speak the whole time and I won't say a word. And then he had a new excuse for why he wouldn't come on. The guy's a ballless fucking loser that cuts and edits videos and is totally disingenuous. He just put up a video about terrible sports picks. We had another winning weekend. All you guys who cry about my personality, again, you don't have to be here. You can exit the room. I'm going to speak facts. Every last person in this world should be grateful for my existence. If there was ever a chance of beating the cabal, it was thanks to yours truly and the knowledge I brought forward. Here, let me play a video of somebody who's not a loser. Here. Let's play a video of someone who's not a loser. Somebody who has a proper perspective. Hold on, I gotta change the audio settings so he comes through. Okay. Oh shit. Hold on. When I played, look at all these fruitcake comments. You're a snob. You know who uses words like that? A woman. I hope you're a woman and not a guy writing a snob. But when I was playing this loser's clip earlier, was it muted?
Just going with this riddle.
Hold on. I'm gonna play it one more time. Shit, it might have been muted because I had the wrong audio setting on. All right, here, let's listen to Jake the Asshole one more time in his own words. If you want to go watch his video, you can see early in the video where he cries about how jealous he is. But here, we'll play this one more time, and then we'll play somebody who sounds like literally what every human being should sound like when they talk about yours truly and what I've done for the last decade. For all you idiots who come in here and don't understand why I'm so frustrated, again, it's because you guys are fucking clueless morons. I've been here every day for a decade, calling out what needs to be called out, ahead of the agenda. Should have woke up the whole world by now. Maybe would have without all the censorship. And instead of people helping out, you got fucking jerk-offs like this just bad-mouthing what doesn't need to be bad-mouthed. Again, a moron like this should take note that my channel's been deleted 20-some times and realize that person needs help, not another fucking loser in the world talking out of their ass about what they don't understand because they're too fucking dumb. And also, the other rant you guys don't like that I do about how the one thing the Illuminati's right about, and which I endorse, is getting rid of the fucking sack of shit losers that populate this earth. This earth is full of lemmings and losers. 90% of them deserve to go. And that's why I'll be sitting back enjoying the myocarditis headlines. Anyway, let's listen to this moron one more time, and then I'll play the other video about what a proper perspective is. Here we go.
And so my thing is with these numbers is you can extrapolate any sort of stupid thing, and it's along the same lines of like pretending to talk to the dead. You know, like I forget the name of that one guy who pretended to talk to people's dead relatives. You guys seen, I forget the name of the show or the guy who did it, but he used to have like a crowd of people and he'd be like, did somebody sitting over here lose a loved one recently? Someone would be like, yeah, I did. Oh, I totally knew that. I could feel that you lost a loved one. And like, it made you sad, and it was like, you were depressed for a while after losing this loved one. Yeah. Oh, and over here, I'm getting a name that starts with like a K. Is there anyone that knows a person with a name that starts with a K? I do. My cousin Kevin, he died in a car wreck. Yeah, I totally knew that. That's why I knew that somebody over here had a loved one with a name that started with a K. I could feel it. It's like one of those type of things. John Edwards, there it is. Yeah, they did a South Park episode about it. Yeah. Yes, so South Park did a really good breakdown of that. So I think that's the same thing with this gematria. I really think it's like a magic trick sort of thing. Or another one is where they pretend to hypnotize people. So these hypnotism shows where they're like, oh, I'm going to hypnotize you. And when you wake up, you're going to act like a chicken. And then the person does. The person does it because they're up on stage and everyone's watching and laughing. And so whenever you see like these hypnotism shows, it's just like a big trick, basically, where like the person's not really hypnotized. They're just doing whatever goofy thing the person says. So I feel like this is like a trick. It's all just a big trick, you know, like, oh, well, 49. And if you type in Elvis's wiener, it comes out to 49. And then when you type in the Queen's pubes, it comes out to 49. And then this game is taking place on the 49th day of the year. So, I mean, totally, then that means this team should win.
But again, the difference is explained why the Queen would die in connection to the number 140 months before she died, and then she dies 140 days after her birthday because Queen of England's 140. Explained why she died at age 96 for 1,000 different reasons, including Princess Di dying in 96, and she does. And explained how her death, when it did come, would be perfectly connected with coronavirus, and then of course she dies 201 days after being diagnosed with COVID, like how it all began with the Event 201 simulation, plus the million other parts about 201. Including her knighting Captain Tom and him dying 201 days later from COVID, one day before Captain Tom died one day after Burma's government fell to its military, and he was known for the Burma campaign. So yeah, there's nothing like a magic trick. Again, it's why anyone with a brain can learn what I teach and replicate it, as many people have. And this kind of analysis is just so pathetically stupid. And I don't know, maybe I got to get more into the stupid business to get more of a support behind the work. Because again, when this moron was talking about Trevor Lawrence being a woman in a man's suit, he was getting super chats left and right. And I was just like, I guess that's where the money is. Just saying something that's completely fucking stupid. I guess that's what people support. But anyhow, here, we did have somebody join, and not sure if it's really the real Gary the Numbers guy, but just in case it is it Gary or is it another troll? GG33 gang. Maybe it's one of Gary's, maybe somebody that wants to debate on behalf of Gary. You're on.
Yeah, I'll step in Gary.
Okay. You're gonna represent Gary's position that Donald Trump's a hero. How's that?
No, Trump. I think Gary talks about Trump. He's just saying that how he's probably like one of the better presidents that were to come in the last 30 years. Clinton, as he mentioned, but
hold on. On what grounds could you say Trump was one of the better presidents in the last 30 years? Did the U.S. not encounter the worst moment of its existence in the time Trump was president?
Well, we're not talking about we're talking about policy-wise.
It was all policy, right? It was going along with the World Health Organization and the lockdowns and the totally un-American practices and essentially the martial laws and the curfews and the mandates. Did that not all happen while Trump was president? It started looking like communist China over here.
Yeah, so look, if Dave Clinton was in there during
Clinton wasn't there. Hey, if we want to go this route, hey, Clinton was in there. The economy was booming. It was like the greatest time to be alive. Life expectancy was climbing. If we really want to go this route, everything was on the up and up when Clinton was president, besides the Oklahoma City building.
I'm saying Hillary Clinton was president instead of Trump, it would be total fascism right now. We'd still be in COVID lockdowns right now as we speak.
How do you know? It was total fascism when Trump was president.
Well, not as bad. You gotta look. You want to open up the country.
What are you basing anything on besides just unsupported opinions? It was total fascism. It was total fascism. Operation Warp Speed, the government, the military, and Pfizer, a huge fascist agenda on the 2-year anniversary of Clade X.
Look, I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm just going based on the numerology. I think the numerology is a lot more accurate than Gematria. I mean, if you actually give Gary your birthday, he could read you a book, like your book. So I mean,
do you know what happened between Gary and I in 2016?
Yeah, I remember. I saw he actually came on Wednesday live shows, and you guys had kind of got into it. So.
And he got his ass handed to him each week, and then he stopped calling back in once he was embarrassed for the final time. Remember how many mulligans he had to take on the 2016 playoffs and World Series? He picked every team that lost, and then when it was down to just 2 teams, he got it wrong. Meanwhile, I said Cubs would win in the spring training, never had to come off it. He guaranteed I'd be wrong.
I mean, he's been right about he said almost all the Super Bowl picks in the last 10 years.
That's not true.
That's
not true.
He hasn't hit any Super Bowls. Twitter right now.
That's not true. Gary, name one Super Bowl Gary's hit, please. He hasn't hit anything. He hasn't hit anything.
His bet slips don't say that. It says another thing. I mean, he's getting 10, 20K on his bet slips. He posts it.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to have somebody come on here and put out Gary propaganda. Gary is the biggest fraud. Been wrong about everything, and also lobbies for Trump. And again, I mean, there was nothing there. It would have been total fascism if Hillary Clinton was in office. I mean, what a moron. It doesn't matter what political party's in there. They're all part of the same Jesuit cabal. Bill's a Jesuit, Hillary's a Jesuit, Trump's a Jesuit, Biden's a Jesuit. They're all in the same club. I mean, listening to these morons would have been total fascism. It was total fascism. Amazon and Walmart got to stay open while everybody else got shut down. When government and corporations work to make policy together, that's called fascism. That's what happened under Trump. God. What a joke. What a joke. I mean, this is what's wrong with people. Why ignore reality and just go to your fantasy opinions? Here's a warning for Gary the Numbers guy. Gary just turned 45. Diamond and Silk. Since Gary just turned 45, and again, Lynette Diamond Hardaway Just like a useful idiot for Trump, just like Gary, who gets to stand behind Trump when he comes into Cleveland. Again, Diamond and Silk, 58, just like how Trump won the 58th presidential election after announcing from the 58-story Trump Tower. But again, she died 45 days after her November 25th birthday. 45 days. She turned 45 years old November 2016 when Trump became the 45th president-elect, which they waited to call until November 9th, the anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall, when Berlin Wall equals 45. Mr. Wall, who ran on the same campaign slogan as Reagan, but Reagan said tear down that wall and Trump said build that wall. But again, dead 45 days after her birthday and dead exactly 666 days before the upcoming election. And like I told you, it would be all biblical with Trump, number 45. Just like how they simulated the pandemic 666 days before the pandemic was declared in the time of number 45, where they took on the Revelation 13 riddle. You must have this if you want to buy or sell. The mask, one letter off from Mark. The vaccine, where vaccination in Sumerian gematria is 666. The trumpets ticket, like trumpets, the Revelation warnings. So again, Gary just turned 45. Gary, a pretty nice payout in a death pool this year. Will we be covering a Gary Grinberg obituary this year? Hopefully not. You know, I wouldn't wish it on him, even though he's a loser. Wouldn't wish death on anybody, but, you know, Gary is a nice payout, and it would fit in with his numerology teachings, you know. Death pools involve numerology. Gary's a 55-to-1 payout this year, and I don't know exactly how they do it. I don't know if, like, you know, when they get rid of a Diamond and Silk, you know, if they have a group of candidates and they do a little spin the wheel, maybe Gary's on there, maybe Diamond's on there, and, you know, it's the wheel of fortune, but a different type of fortune, the wheel of fate. Gary might have been one off. Could have been covering Gary. You know, Gary, you better be careful. You've been beefing with Andrew Tate. You've been getting some recognition from some people on the big stage. Might be your year. You just turned 45, so be careful, buddy. You might be getting some little payola for lobbying for Trump, but again, there's a lot of people that have helped lobby for Trump, and this is the payoff right here. R.I.P. 45 days after the birthday. Do we want to talk about what happened to Trump's wife 45 years after their marriage? On the 60th week of the Jesuit Ignatian year, on the same day he hinted he'd run for the 60th election, Donald Trump equals 60. All right, shout out to Real Talk. Absolute thinkers focus their entire lives on the why instead of focusing on the how. Gematria is the abstract how they do. Who cares why, you lemmings? But we do know why, too. I mean, it's Kabbalah. They're into this mysticism, which does seem to have some real-world relevance. So, anyhow, we'll leave it there for now. TFR tonight, 6 p.m., gave the losers a chance to call in. They were a no-show. And again, if they do want to debate in the future, let me know. Be happy to debate. Be happy to mop up the losers again. Gary's been destroyed several times. That's why he only trolls in the comments these days. And, you know, this guy right here, again, he might be just dumb enough to debate, so we'll see. Oh, okay. Nathan says play Justin's good video. All right. Justin Explains. I appreciate Justin Explains channel. And let me get it on here. Here we go.
Okay. Looks like we are rolling. Anyways, guys, I shouldn't have to do a video like this because honestly, I feel like doing this video, it means we've failed in society as a whole, overall. Because I'm making this video due to the fact that there are so many freaking ignorant ignorant fucks in the world. And quite frankly, I shouldn't even have to do this video. Shouldn't have to, but I'm doing it because, hey, maybe it's going to reach 5 people, 10 people, 20, 100, I don't know. Maybe it's going to reach somebody that's going to actually listen, and it's not going to fall on deaf ears. Anyways, guys, this video, I just want to dig right into it. You know, normally I try to introduce, do an introduction, talk to you guys a little bit, but I just want to dig right into the subject at hand. I cannot believe all of the people, not just in the United States, but globally around the world, that are so fucking dumb and blind. Is that the right thing to do? Yeah. No offense to people that are actually really blind. Anyways, so many dumb, blind motherfuckers in this world, and it really hurts me. It actually hurts me. Makes me feel bad. There's a man named Zachary K. Hubbard that has been literally changing people's lives for the better for the last, going on about 10 years now, since I think 2013, I believe it was, and here, what is it, 2023 now? Changing people's lives, helping people out, helping people prosper, make money on the side, in some cases, change their life for good to the point where they don't even have to work a job because they can make so much money on his knowledge alone. And I personally, I've been following Zachary K. Hubbard since the spring. It was the spring of 2015. So what is that, going on 8 years this spring? It was April 2015. And when I first found him on YouTube, at first I thought, oh, is he just another one of these, guys that, try to sell themselves, try to sell, their brand, marketing, something like that. In terms of predictions and things like that, sports, life, and other genres. And then I started watching him, first couple of videos, first couple streams, and I was like, holy shit, this dude is freaking the real deal. He is like second to none. In case you guys don't know who Zachary K. Hubbard is, he, a lot of people refer to him as the numbers guy, the gematria guy, numerology guy. He has literally successfully decoded so many different events in history, from the past, present, future, onward, to literally dissecting and decoding the whole September 11th attacks, the coding behind it, the meaning behind 9/11, the meaning behind the Twin Towers falling in connection to, believe it or not, 911, the national emergency number. He has decoded that. He has decoded Kobe Bryant's infamous and famous death 3 years ago in 2020, in terms of the reality of what really took place in Kobe's death, and numerous other events that have taken place here in America, globally, internationally. He has really done such an amazing job of breaking down what goes on in the world and the truth. More importantly, the truth. A lot of non-truth seekers out there in the world like to refer to people like myself, people like Zach, as conspiracy theorists. Oh, you're just a conspiracy theorist. You're just a conspiracy guy. Nut job. You need to be put in a padded room with a straitjacket. You can't move. But no, the truth is, it's not conspiracy theory when it comes to certain specific events in time, especially when there's patterns that keep happening over and over and over again. Patterns. I don't think a pattern is a conspiracy theory. A pattern is something that takes place over and over and over and over again. So many people have referred to guys like myself, guys like Zach, other people in the truth community as, lunatics, crazy nut jobs, wackos. No, that's not the truth. That's the farthest. That is literally the farthest thing from the truth. A truth seeker is somebody that wants the truth. They want honest, genuine answers to their questions. That's it. That's all it is. A conspiracy theorist, yeah. A conspiracy theorist is somebody that maybe just sits around all day and they think, oh man, what would be a great conspiracy theory? What would be a great wild thing to storm up in my brain? The earth is flat. The moon is made out of cheese, or there's aliens living on the moon. Or, the president of the United States is an alien, or he talks to aliens. That's the definition. That is the definition of a conspiracy theorist. When you start coming up with all of these off-the-wall bullshit theories and ideologies and ideas of what's going on, that's a conspiracy theorist. A conspiracy theorist is not a truth seeker. A truth seeker like myself, and many of all of you other guys out there, including Zach, several other people, a truth seeker is somebody that just, they see a picture, they see an image or a headline, and they actually take it all in. They take it in. And then they notice, hey, that doesn't jive. It doesn't make any sense. It makes zero Zero. Zilch sense. Like, for instance, take the Kobe Bryant death. When Kobe Bryant died in 2020 in the helicopter crash. It was actually January, it was Sunday, January the 26th of 2020. Shortly before the whole COVID-19 thing took over. Anyways, what are the odds of all the things happening leading up to Kobe's death? Like, for example, Kobe played his final basketball game in April of 2016 against the Utah Jazz. The dude that was guarding him was, when Kobe took his final shot, made his final basket of the game, was wearing jersey number 41. Okay, Kobe scored 60 points that night. The rest of his team scored 41 for a total of 101 points. When the coach took Kobe out of the game, you know, so that he could salute the crowd, give him a, you know, standing ovation, how much time do you think was left on the clock when they took him out of the game? 4.1 seconds was left on the clock. So we see a pattern: 41, 4-1, 4-1, 4-1. Then, you know, I'm going to take it a step further. I don't even know if Zach ever covered this, but take it a step further. About, I think it was like 2 to 3 years before Kobe died. He died in 2020, and I believe this was in like 2017, 2018. Kobe came out with his own unique shoe, his own basketball shoe. And it was literally called Kobe AD, after death. And they even asked Kobe about that. They said, Kobe, what do you think of that shoe? You know, like what's the name behind it? You know, what's the reasoning behind calling it Kobe AD? And of course, Kobe brushed it off as, well, I consider the AD after death meaning after my career. In other words, his career was dead. He's retired. So he called it Kobe AD, as in his career's done. So he, you know, his basketball legacy's dead. His legacy as a basketball player is dead. I mean, take it for what it is. I just find that kind of strange. I don't know any basketball player in history that has come up with a shoe called their name, followed by AD. So I don't know. And then they die, what, 2 years later? Anyways, but I'm not trying to get off on a tangent here, guys. This video is about Zach. And these are the things that Zach has.
I do that all the time because it's like a thought comes in and you don't finish. I guarantee he's going to talk about how Kobe died on his 41st, or the Pope's 41st day of his age while traveling from Catholic Mass. Now in Gematria, Kobe Bryant equals 41. And you could add on like how his dad was drafted by Golden State 41 years before Kobe retired, and Golden State equals 40. Like how Curry just dropped 41 points again on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. But again, the Kobe 41 list is long. And again, I wrote a book about Kobe in 41 before he died at age 41. And I'm not sure if I did ever cover the Kobe AD shoe. I'm going to have to go back and look at that. Anyway, here, let's let him finish his stream.
Described and taught all of us that follow his work, follow his patterns that he has studied through, you're talking about 10 years, a good 10 years now, almost a decade, 10 years that he's been doing this work, Gematria. And I personally hold firm on my beliefs that I think Zach deserves way more credit, respect, gratitude towards what he's done. And for those of you out there that maybe watch this video, you know, maybe some of you don't even understand what I'm talking about or even know who Zach is. Some people probably don't know who Zach is, at least on my channel, my network. I'm going to put his links. He's got a few different channels on YouTube. He's had to make new channels over and over and over again. I think he's on like his 25th channel now, because YouTube always constantly either deletes a channel, you know, strikes him, bans him, you know, so he always is having to make new channels to reach out to people and continue to do his work so people hear his voice and know what he's talking about. Because YouTube, let's be honest, guys, YouTube is literally like the worst fucking platform there is when it comes to censorship. Now, when it comes to viewership, yeah, YouTube, great viewership. We got a lot of content on YouTube, tons of, you know, millions of content creators on YouTube. Maybe not millions, thousands. But you guys know what I'm saying. But as far as the censorship goes and, you know, constant, you know, banning people, striking channels, Zach's channel, you know, channels, I should say plural, has put out so much amazing information, a wealth of knowledge for everybody out there. And it's a shame that more people on YouTube, including YouTube themselves, doesn't support Zach and help him out more, give him a hand, and allow him to just grow. He needs to just keep growing, you know, instead of fucking him over and deleting his channels, you know, demonetizing him, you know, fucking him, you know, every way possible. People should on YouTube be trying to get behind this guy and support this guy and help this guy. More people should be helping him out. I believe more people should be getting behind him and helping him. It's a shame that probably the only true truth seeker and truth teller on YouTube gets treated like a fucking slave on YouTube. It's a shame. And that's Zach, gets treated like a slave. You know, the man's written books. He's done so much. He's even given away his books for free so that people get his knowledge for free. But yet YouTube is like, fuck this asshole. We're gonna screw him over. We're gonna fucking delete his channel. You know. Oh well, guys. honestly, I digress here. I kind of feel sick of my stomach even talking about this, because it's like I shouldn't even have to come on here and rant about, something that should not be. Should not be. It shouldn't be this way. People should be able to come on here on YouTube, speak their mind, as long as they're not hurting anybody or, threatening anybody. You should be allowed to come on here and just say whatever the fuck you want. It's just that simple. Just let the people speak. I mean, this is the United States. Can't we just come on here and have our own group, our own family, our own community, support one another? If you don't like this one guy's channel or his outlook on life, then don't watch him. Don't watch the guy. It's really that simple. Really that fucking simple. Oh, man. Well, guys, I think this is going to be a video. I'm going to call this a video. Down below here in the description section, I'm going to attach Zach's channels, a few different channels I want to add to it. There's a couple of different channels I want to add to the description section so you guys can find his work, find his channel, find his community, and support the guy. Help the guy out, be a part of his community. Zach, like I said before, is, he's an amazing guy, great guy. He's reached out to me before. He's a very sincere individual, and I think what he's doing for humanity is great. In fact, I wish there were more politicians. I wish there were some politicians, for that matter, in this society, that had the same ideologies as Zach and felt the same way as Zach and wanted to actually make a difference in the world and society the way Zach does. But sadly enough, we don't have people like that in Congress. We don't have people anywhere in the entertainment industry, actors, singers, politicians. None of them's like that. But also, guys, before I end this video, please don't forget to like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, hit the notification bell, and also leave comments down below here in the comment section just to let me know how I'm doing. Give me feedback. I don't care whether it's positive or negative feedback. Just give me feedback, guys. Let me know how I'm doing. So, let's see. I think I got everything covered. Got it all covered here. Okay, guys. I'm going to call this a video. End this here. You guys all stay safe out there. Enjoy the rest of your week. And I'll see you on the next video. Peace out, everybody.
Okay, so that's Justin Explains, and that guy covers a lot of different topics, and I think he always has a reasonable perspective on pretty much everything he does. If you guys want to help out his channel, there's a lot of people in here that could help him get his sub count up to 500. That would be a lot of growth in one day, and that would be encouraging. And I am curious if I ever did cover the Kobe AD shoe. Because if not, that's something we do need to go back and look at. Because remember, Nike's short film with Bruce Willis and Kanye West was perfectly synced with the death. So I'm guessing whenever his AD shoe came out, let's see. I might have to do this separate later, do the research on this. Came out in 2016. 4 years before 2020. It released on November 21st. You see what I mean, you guys? Man, come on, man. Look at it. November 21st, 2016 through December 31st. Those are the last 41 days of the year. What do you know? What do you know? Kobe Bryant, whose whole career was defined by 41, who died in a huge 41 ritual. The shoe released on November 21st. Again, you count that day through December 31st. Those are the last 41 days of the year. So, man, Gematria guy's like a magic trick. That was another magic trick I just did right there. Just laughable. Laughable, Talking about Biden, the Celtics, 17, all the deaths. Boom, another one. While Biden's got the Warriors at the White House on the 17th day of the year, Chris Ford, the 17th pick of the draft, dies on the 17th. And again, he was drafted 17th overall in 72 the year Biden became senator-elect. I'm sure it's all just a coincidence. And again, Biden born on the 17th birthday of RFK, who's from Massachusetts, like the Celtics, like who Chris Ford played for. And again, Chris Ford went to college just outside Philly at Villanova, the Catholic school, and the Warriors are there at the White House paying tribute to Philly, their original home. I'm sure it's all just a coincidence. I'm sure connecting it's like a magic trick. I mean, when aren't we looking at things in real time and just backing up our point further and further? Every time I look at something in real time, we just already know it's going to be that way because that's the way this game goes. Okay, we don't have anybody else in the room. But yeah, Kobe's whole career defined by 41. Read about it in my first book before he died. Read about it in my latest book, Number Games, where there's a whole chapter on Kobe's death. And I still haven't made up my mind on if I'm going to go down to LA for the Kobe death anniversary or if I'm just going to wait till later this summer for Kobe Bryant Day. But again, if I don't go down January 26th, I will go down August 24th. That's Kobe Bryant Day in LA. 8/24, his last jersey number, is one day after his birthday. So I did talk about Chris Ford dying 97 days after the anniversary of hitting the league's first three-pointer, while Steph Curry and Steve Kerr are there, the great three-point shooters. Indeed. Yeah, I covered it all in the end of the last live stream, the one with Biden and Kamala on the thumbnail. Somebody says I should try getting on Rumble. You know what? I saw the new Rumble ad. If you guys haven't seen the new Rumble ad on TV, it's the best TV ad I've ever seen. I am actually on Rumble. I was posting videos there for like a week, and I probably should have gone longer than a week, but the videos were getting like 2 views, 4 views, and I was like, forget this platform. Again, you got to be on YouTube if you want to get views. I don't want to be taking all the time to upload a video and do all the stuff you got to do and then get no views. So I was one and done with Rumble, but I got to admit, I just did see their commercial the other day, and it had me laughing, and it almost made me want to try it out again. If you guys haven't seen the new Rumble ad, it's making fun of YouTube. Somebody's dressed up like a referee, and somebody's speaking, and then the referee comes in and throws a flag at him, tells him to shut up. And then they start talking some more and throws another flag at him and then another flag at him. Like, you're out of here. And the guy's like, you know what? I am out of here. I'm going over to Rumble. Here you can have your flags back. But yeah, that's the way it works. You know, you get 3 strikes and they delete your channel. So BitChute's trash. BitChute's worse than Google. BitChute's on the same censorship algorithm. And BitChute's promoting the same shills that Google was promoting before they switched platforms. BitChute's a trash platform. I used to be able to get views on BitChute. I can't get any views on there anymore. So, yeah, I can't like get more than 300 views on a BitChute video anymore. I used to be able to get thousands. So I'm also done with BitChute. Another waste of time. Yeah, Jake the Butthole didn't want to come on. Plain Decoded, I do want to wrap it up here soon because I got TFR in a little more than 2 hours, but I did see that you joined the room and dropped out earlier. If you want to come on and share something, you're welcome to. Yeah, that Mr. Anderson guy who I just blocked a minute ago, that guy is a swine. People like him remind me of my buddy who, when I found this knowledge, he told me, he's like, don't share this information with anybody. He's like, you should just keep it to yourself. He was the one person I knew who saw it was something, but he's not a numbers guy, but he's like, you should not share this knowledge. He said, you should just keep this to yourself. And the thing is, had I just kept it to myself, I think the games would be just as easy to decode as they were when I first started, because it was a lot easier back then. That's the thing about thousands of people now using this to profit off the casinos. They have tightened up their riddles. So I have to share the link when I first start the Rumble channel on YouTube. Yeah, I actually never did that, I don't think. I don't think I ever shared my Rumble channel on YouTube. Maybe I'll do that. Dap Daddy, why don't you come on the stream and explain your last comment? Dap Daddy just left a comment. Zach, why don't you embrace your Jewish roots? Because I don't have any Jewish roots. Again, raised Lutheran, uncircumcised. I have said that my dad doesn't know who his dad is. It's possible that his dad was Jewish, but that's not really Jewish roots. might have some of their genetics. And if it's true what they write about their IQs being higher than everybody else's, it could explain something. All right, what's up, Plain Decoded?
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, what's going on?
I wanted to talk about Jake the Asshole's thing there. I've been following him for a while, actually, and he just started picking up steam when he started covering the NFL. Before it was strictly flat Earth. Once he started picking up steam, I shared his some of his videos in like the Discords, and I know for a fact that tons of his newer followers are Gematria. Like it's this community. There's like he picked up steam from fanboys and stuff like that. But a lot of us have started following him. I know that for a fact because it's like been circulating in the Discords. So it's really weird that he would attack his new audience like this. It's like he got instructions. It was really interesting. But when he's using his arguments against you, what a lot of people should do, and I encourage everyone watching to do this, is look into logical fallacies. These are how you can determine like what people are saying, what someone is saying is true or not. And it's not taught in school. It's from the 7 liberal arts and sciences, which Manly P. Hall talks about, and they're called logical fallacies, deductive reasoning, and reasoning. He's using weird tactics. Like first he ad hominem attacks you.
Hold on, pause real quick, Plain Decoded, because I had it on the wrong audio setting. So they missed the opening of your statement, but essentially what he said, he's giving us some backstory on Jake the Asshole. He's saying Jake the Asshole's channel recently grew a lot when he covered the NFL, and he finds it suspicious because with the growth, he saw that a lot of the Gematria people are what went to his work, and then all of a sudden he's attacking Gematria, so it seems weird to him that he would do that. So that's what you missed while it was echoing, and you guys said you couldn't make it out. So, all right, Plain Decoded, go ahead. Are you still there? Well, he is still there, but Plain.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. The audio was not your fault. It was my set. I had to fix the settings. So your audio is good now. So go ahead.
So basically, I've been following him because if you can deduce from my name, my stance on the shape of the earth, but I've been following him for a while, and he is a goof. Like he's not really like he's a goofball, but he's been accused of being a shill by, I don't know if, like, I know one of your followers, they follow these people named Ronnie and Jason, Awake Souls, and they have like documented all this weird stuff about him too. And so all of a sudden, like, I know that he started like growing when he started covering NFL. He started growing. He got like 20 extra thousand subs. And I know a lot of them are Gematria decoders and your community, because I know this because his videos picked up steam in all the Discords because he's covering all these like ridiculous plays. Like he was the one who found out he's the one who showed the ball stuck to the glove. That's where I first ever saw it on his channel, which is really good. Like he's been doing good on that. But then all of a sudden, like he's like, okay, I'm going to turn on half of my new audience and attack them all of a sudden. It's really weird. And then I just was saying, a lot of truth seekers, like this is a problem I had when I was first truth seeking, is not knowing how to understand what people are saying, whether or not it's true or not. And people should look into what is called a logical fallacy. And this is taught in the 7 liberal arts and sciences. It's the real way we're supposed to learn about things. And Manly P. Hall is one who's taught me about that. But in the 7 liberal arts and sciences, you learn logical fallacies. So first he just came after you for no reason, like no reason at all. And he used an ad hominem attack. He attacked the person, not the message. So he ad homed you, and then he built a straw man and he attacked the straw man. He said, my grandfather's grave has a pile of leaves on it, and the leaves equal to, like, he's just straw manning, right? So he uses 2 logical fallacies, and then he goes on to talk about the female to male like quarterbacks, which is circular reasoning. So he's just using logical fallacies all over the place and not making any sense. And it's really weird. It's like, it kind of creeped me out because it's like, why is he suddenly doing this?
Yeah, and again, it just it's like I said, most of the people on YouTube that even have a little bit of a platform, like they're suspicious people. There's not many people in the world that have time to actually make YouTube videos and put out content consistently because most people are caught up in the slave grind. And again, for all the people out there who say, "Yeah, that's why you're a shill too, Zach." No, remember, I'm someone who was smart, who saved my money, who got my expenses really low. I also had my own business, and it allowed me to have the time to do research and put it out. And when my business got destroyed, I ended up going full board at this. And again, that was a big loss, and maybe in another way a win because I've taken the research a lot further since that happened. But yeah, most of the people on YouTube are pretty suspects. Again, and people should understand. And all the time I've been here, look at all the channels with a platform. How many have ever tried to collaborate? I've like reached out to everybody. Almost everyone ignores me or starts a fight with me or has something negative to say about me or how Gematria is dumb. It's like, okay, like a high impact flicks, for example. You're there trying to tell your audience politics is all bullshit and they're two sides of the same coin, but you're just speaking out of your mouth. Here I am over here saying the same thing, but showing how these parties work by the same ritualistic patterns to play their part in keeping the country divided and fighting over the two-party system. So, I mean, there's a lot of examples out there that should wake people up to what's actually going on. But then again, most people, they don't have the common sense to see. And yeah, I do appreciate you coming on and making that point because it is true. And that is how most of all debate against Gematria. They put up a straw man argument, just like he said. It's like, okay, when are we ever decoding like that? I mean, we've never said anything that dumb ever. So
yeah, just the background on him a little bit, like how he's kind of like nutty. He thought Jaren was trying to kill him. Like he went on like a month like thing where he thought Jaren was trying to kill him.
You're talking about Jaren?
Yeah, do you know Jaren?
Jaren, for people who don't know, Jarenism is the real reason I have the reason on, or it's about, I shouldn't say the real reason, but he was the first advocate to get me on TFR, is what Chris Gio tells me. Yeah, I'm familiar with Jarenism.
Yeah, so he thought Jaren was trying to kill him. He thought all these people like associated with Jaren are trying to kill him. It was really bizarre. And then, and I think he microdoses mushrooms like every day. Like he's just a straight up first class like weirdo. So,
well, I like mushrooms, but man, every day is definitely abusing what's special about mushrooms. Maybe twice a year, but God, every day, yeah, that's not good. So.
But I do enjoy his vid. It's unfortunate because I was really enjoying his exposing of the NFL. Look, those videos are good. So I don't know why he would attack you instead of he could have grown his audience more, right? That's why it makes no sense. He could have grown his audience more and yeah, collaborated. So that's all I wanted to say. I want everyone to look into logical fallacies. It's a super important subject.
Yeah, indeed. And that kind of research can help out a lot of people improve their intuition and not fall for bad arguments. So,
all right, thanks.
All right, thanks, Plane. I'm working on a new poster on the background with the Kobe AD show. Shout out to Justin Explains Everything. All right, G Moody, what's up, G Moody?
Zach, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
What's going on, man? Appreciate your work. It's about my probably third time calling in and shit. I know you usually get mad when people don't call in about the topic and shit, but I really don't got nothing to talk about. The crab, barrel and the crab people out here that be trying to pull good knowledge down. I actually called because I wanted to see if you could do a quick decode for me. My cousin played in the NBA, right? And he died at age 36 in 2015. And I kind of want to do the decode, but I don't do it for my, I'm not that good at it, I guess you could say. His name is Larry Kettner. He played for UMass under Calipari. And the reason I'm asking this is because his son, like, this is my cousin, like my mom's twin's brother's son. That's him right there, Larry Kettner, right? So his son is playing at Albany right now. And his youngest son is playing in Catholic, of course, in the Catholic League right now. So
just right away. He died on you know what I say the kill date is, right? How once a month the kill date comes up? Are you still there? That's weird. His mic also seemed to went out as soon as I talk. I didn't mean to mute him out all the way. He dropped out. Hey, call back. Call back. I wanted to keep talking, but I just want to make the point. Two things that stand out right away. He died on the kill date. Again, once a month, the kill date comes up because the numerology is 44 and 64 and either 17 or 28. And in this case, it was oh, no. I'm tripping, you guys. My math is bad. He died on a date with 34 numerology, but he died on the day leaving 82 days left in the year, too. Like, there's an 82-game NBA season. The word game equals 82. And here, if he comes back on, again, rejoin the stream, but while we're waiting for him, let's just look. February 1st was his birthday. 2014 was the year he died. Go look at his basketball stats, too. October 10th, 2014. He died 251 days after his birthday, which is the 54th prime number, and the date he did die had 54 date numerology as well. 251, the 54th prime on a 54 date numerology. He was drafted 49th by the Chicago Bulls. I actually call that the Chicago Bulls number. Chicago Bulls equals 49. That number hits hard with the Bulls in games where the number plays. Like if a coach can get his 49th win or loss versus the team. Early this year when teams could become 4-9, this type of thing against the Bulls. Big number with the Bulls. So it's funny that he was drafted 49th overall by the Bulls. Hold on. We know what 54 is about. Again, we've had a lot of 54 deaths in recent days. That's the big Jesuit number, and we know who really runs the NBA. Ah, look at that. His full name, Larry Arthur Kettner, is also 82. It's also 107 like ritual sacrifice, but he died on the day leaving 82 days left in the year, like I was saying, and game equals 82. Again, 82 games in the NBA season, so he dies on the most fitting date. He played at a Roman Catholic high school in Philly. Again, while these guys are living, people are sacrificed. Think about how many people died for Kobe in his last season. This was a couple years before Kobe's last season. I'm just curious because he's got the Philly connection like Kobe, and we know Kobe Bean Bryant's 54, dead right before Super Bowl 54. He died 48 days after Kobe's birthday, but also Kobe's 49th day of his age. Again, he was the 49th pick of the draft. That's also 1 month and 18 days. Remember, we thought Phillies had a great shot to be in the 118th World Series before the season began. Philadelphia has two connections to 118. Philadelphia, PA is 118, and Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, when spelled correctly, is also 118. And it's in my book. I forgot. Kobe coded that 118 number all over his Wizard book series. So hold up. His full name's 82, dead on the day, leaving 82 days left in the year. He had fateful name Gematria as well. Larry Kettner, 67, like blood sacrifice. The 157 is interesting. Kobe Bryant, 157, dead on his 157th day of his age. His name's actually just like Kobe, forwards and backwards. 113, 157. I'm trying to remember what happened in the 2014 NBA season. Let's see. Okay, that was the first year the Warriors beat the Cavs. Man, time flies. That was the first match of the Warriors and Cavs. He died. No. Okay, so that was right before the start of the first season that was Warriors and Cavs. He died right before the start of that season. That season began October 28th, 2014. He died 18 days before. IHS is 18. Jesuit Order 54. Their acronyms IHS for Jesus Hominum Salvator. He was 37 years old, meaning he was in his 38th year of life. Bryant's got that 37 connection too. On August 28, 2013, at 36 years old, Kentner was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. All right, so they said he died from cancer. After being diagnosed with cancer, Kentner completed the 3 courses needed to receive his bachelor's degree from University of Massachusetts Amherst. Completed his final course in August of 2014 and received his degree. Larry was married to Aquarius Kentner and was the father of 3 children and stepfather of 2. He was living in Indianapolis, 201 land. Again, 201 land, other big Jesuit number. It's crazy how many of these athletes get cancer and entertainers at such a young age and die from it at such a young age when so many people survive cancer at these ages. Out of curiosity, from the day that he was diagnosed to the death was 408 days later, or a total span of 409 days, which is the 80th prime number. Again, I'm just wondering about Kobe. I just can't think about Kobe because Kobe's the biggest basketball star connected to Philly at the time he died. Bryant's 80 and 82. And again, he died on Kobe's 49th day of his age and was the 49th pick of the draft by the Chicago Bulls, which is the 49 team. Let me look up his NBA stats real quick. He made his debut in the NBA on November 17th, 11-17, 187 number. Played in 25 career games. We know that number's faithful. We just talked about it with the ritual yesterday with Biden at the White House and the death of the three-point shooter, Chris Ford, 97 days after making the anniversary of making the first 3, when 97 is the 25th prime, and death and Ford and finals and Biden are all 25. Played for Cleveland, Chicago, and Indiana. But yeah, again, isn't that how it always is? Like I'm pointing out what's up with the date, and then you look, and again, I was saying 82 days left in there. We plug in his name, boom, 82. And he died on date with 34 numerology. Again, murder's 34. The last team he played for was Indiana, where he was living, which is also 34. So he died in Indiana on a 34 date numerology. It was also a date with 54 numerology, 251 days after his birthday, the 54th prime. And hold on. I want to see the NBA season before that. Season before that was the 68th season. The Indiana Pacers opened the season against the Orlando Magic. Interesting. Spurs overheat that year. What were the dates of the finals? Hold up. The team that lost, Heat, has the 34 gematria too. Just a lot of times when these players die, they die in connection to the seasons at the time of their death. Last game of the finals that year was June 15th. See, in the most simple cipher, Heat is 34. But yeah, I think the date, just being an NBA player, day leaving 82 days left in the year, that's probably He died 117 days after the last game of that season, or a span of 118 days. And isn't that where we started today with the first stream? With 118 in death, here we are on January 18th, 118. And again, today's headline just full of death. And you even got a 118-year-old dead nurse in the headlines. You got Microsoft laying off people today. But again, it's 118. You got a dead nun at age 118. You got a 38-year-old wrestler. Again, this man died at 37, but in his 38th year of life. You know what? He was 37, right? The last team he played for was the Pacers, which is another 37. Dead at 37 on the 34-day numerology, last NBA team, Indiana Pacers. But again, homicide and death both got that 118 connection. And he's got the Philadelphia connection as well. Like I was saying, Philadelphia's got that double connection of 118. Philadelphia, PA, 118. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 118. From Philly. Did a span of 118 days from the last NBA season as an NBA player. Roman Catholic educated. Like I've always said, there's a disproportionate amount of athletes. A disproportionate amount of athletes who went to Catholic and Jesuit high schools and universities that are playing pro. What's up, Cousin Mar? Cousin Mar's from Philly, too. He's got some basketball stories.
Yeah, I got a basketball story, and it's crazy because this is Larry Kettner, man. For those who don't know, I went to West Catholic, so I knew a lot of these guys. A lot of these guys were big-time players, and like I said, a lot of these guys got paid in high school, just like Cousin Mar. So here's the kicker. So Larry Kettner, when you brought that up, the first thing I thought was Kevin Garnett. Now, I thought you was going to go Kevin Garnett route, but obviously you don't know. So true story. Roman Catholic was playing Saginaw Academy out of Chicago where Kevin Garnett went. Pre-game, I'm in the locker room talking to Larry. There's a whole bunch of people in there. I'm their young boy, mind you. I'm in like 8th grade. He's a senior. So Kevin Garnett come in there, and I'm like, oh, shit. He says, where Larry at? The coach asks him, like, who are you? He goes, I'm Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett walks up to him and says, yo, you sticking me tonight? I'm about to give you 50. And proceeded to give him 50 at Roman Catholic High School. But here's another thing. So Eddie Griffin. So Larry Kettner went to Roman Catholic, died. Eddie Griffin went to Roman Catholic, died. But they are both connected to Kevin Garnett also because Eddie Griffin got drafted by Minnesota. I think it was like first round, 5th pick. The same, Kevin Garnett was on the team. So that's how come I called, because I just wanted to, add a little bit more detail into like the overall aspect. And guess what number Eddie Griffin wore? 41. And he was the last high school player to come out of high school besides Kobe Bryant.
I see. Huh. Yeah. I remember they ritually humiliated Eddie Griffin.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, but Philadelphia in basketball is deep because, again, the first championship in pro basketball is won out of Philly. Just like how yesterday they're paying tribute to Philly even when the Warriors are there. 215 days after the finals, that's the Philly area code.
Facts, and I'm going to let everybody know that Will Smith, Overbrook High School, Wilt Chamberlain, literally all in walking distance. Wilt Chamberlain grew up on the 1100 block of Redfield Street. Not for nothing, I grew up on a 1200 block, but I don't count. Then Kobe Bryant was up there literally right around the corner from Overbrook. I'm surprised he didn't go to Overbrook, but I guess that was like his dad's choosing. But like that's how crazy like Kobe Bryant, Will Smith, Wilt Chamberlain, all in walking distance of living like near one another. And they all went from Philadelphia to LA.
Yeah, what are the odds of that? The two 118 cities, nonetheless. So.
Yo, how about this? Kobe Bryant lived across the street from St. Joe's University on City Line Avenue.
Huh. Crazy.
That's where he would practice at.
I see. Huh.
Yeah, yep. He would practice. He would practice there. And then I know that him, like Rasul Butler. Yo, that's crazy. Damn, I forgot about Rasul Butler. He went to Roman Catholic too. So Eddie Griffin, Russell Butler, Larry Kettner all died and went to Roman Catholic High School in Philadelphia?
Remember, Rajal Butler died right before the Eagles won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, right. And then the next morning, Kobe Bryant singing "Fly, Eagles, Fly."
Yep. And Kobe Bean Bryant equals "Fly, Eagles, Fly," equals the key of David, which is mentioned in the letter to the Church of Philadelphia in Revelation. And Philadelphia's establishment date is the same numbers that equal all those phrases. So
true story. I'm so fucking happy that I never went to Roman Catholic. I had 3 schools bidding for me to go there. West Catholic, it was St. John Newman, which was in South Philadelphia, and Roman Catholic. The reason that I didn't go to Newman or Roman Catholic, because they was both all boys schools, and I couldn't go to fucking school with all boys. That's the reason that I went to West Catholic. But yo, this is fucking crazy, Zach.
it is. Rajal Butler died January 31st, right before the Super Bowl. 131 when Super Bowls 131 like championship. He was 38 years old. We don't even got to explain why. 253 days after his birthday. That's the 22nd triangular number, which means if you had 1 through 22. Eagles in basketball, 22. And again, it's clockwork. It's clockwork. And that was another season where we saw the Super Bowl a mile in advance, what the 2 teams would be before the week 3 game was even played. So.
Right. And Eddie went from Roman Catholic to Seton Hall, and then freaking Sewell went from Roman Catholic to LaSalle. And they both had similar accidents because Eddie supposedly crashed head on into a train. And then Sewell, he supposedly crashed head on into like some type of pillar in the middle of the road by being chased by paparazzi. Or man, this shit is wild, bro. I just want to.
I feel like I should fly out to Philly and we should post up in front of this high school and warn people.
Yeah, because it's literally right there on Broad Street. We could be yo. Guess what their colors are? Purple and fucking gold.
Of course they are. Yeah. Of course they are. Here, I'm gonna let G Moody he came back, and maybe you guys can collaborate since you're both connected to Philly.
That's his cousin?
Yeah, this is
cousin Marv. What's up, man?
Yo, what's up, cousin? So yeah, I ain't gonna put my number out there or whatever, but I want you could get like ex-cousin Zach to, you know what I mean, like, you know, shoot you my number or whatever. But yeah, cause I want to talk to you more, man. You in Philly?
Yeah, I'm in Philly.
All right,
yeah, I'm up north, so.
I can tell you some deep shit about the school that your cousin went to. A lot of things, man. Like I said, you know, they was paying players, and you know, there was a lot of things going on, man. Like there's a lot of guys that I know that went to that school that are just like in weird, like political like positions now all of a sudden that you would never even guess, but you know, like they had the training, man. They was all like weird, man. It was crazy. It was real odd, you know. But that's the truth about Kevin.
What's tripping me out about this shit right now, though, low key, is because like, you know, Larry, that's my cousin. Like I'm like this, like I don't have any brothers. I'm an only child, so my cousins are like my brothers, right?
Yes.
And you know, our family, we had an athletic family, so I got a lot of. You know what I mean? Like, I got other cousins, like my other cousin went to Roman Catholic and played in the NFL, and he's alive now. So when I hear shit like this, it's like, okay, what the fuck? He played for I know why he played for the 49ers. I looked at it already, whatever. And now he's not playing, so it's like, damn. I talk to him every day. This is my brother. You feel me? I talk to him about this shit we talking about right now. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, do I tell him to watch out for something? Watch what you drinking? Like, what the fuck? Because it's like, I watched Zach go through the whole thing with my cousin Larry, and it's like, it feels weird because, damn, he passed quickly. You know what I mean? It was like, damn, he was here. He moved out to Indiana, was out there for like not too long, and then he's gone, you know? And then it's like, I watched the numbers, and I'm like, oh, wow, that's crazy. So,
yes.
It scared me a little bit because it's like, damn, I'm not trying to read a headline about my fucking cousin that went to fucking Florida State and played for the 49ers, and he's not playing no more, but the 49ers are doing well right now. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what the fuck? You know, I don't know what. I feel like, should I tell him something? But then it's like, what the fuck do I tell him? He's just living his regular life at this point. You know what I'm saying? This shit is wild. Like cousin Marv, Zach, this shit is wild right now.
Question
I'm
for
in a
you.
weird position because, like,
Be honest. Is there any way possible he could get back into the NFL?
no, he ain't playing no more. He's retired.
All right, I'm just making sure. Then I will warn him because I'd be very skeptical if he had like the option of getting back in there, and then you telling him something that he may and as weird as it sounds, you know what I mean? Because I have a cousin that's best friends with Allen Iverson, and like I don't be around him or nothing, but I try to warn him because he always asks me why I call Allen Iverson number 56. And I'm like, bro, because he's a part of the plan. He looked me dead in my face when I asked him about John Thompson's death, and he said he had no clue about it. And that's when I decided to leave because I didn't want to be around such a cool individual. And I honestly think my cousin's going to be a sacrifice for this dude one day. And I try to tell him that. So my thing is like, just warn him, man. Just tell him, like you said, watch what you're drinking, watch who you hanging out around. And if that's your brother, try to make it so that you can be like one of the people that are around them constantly, so you could honestly be those extra set of eyes and ears.
Yeah, we don't live in the same state though, so it ain't even like that though. But it's on some shit like that. He'll call me tonight and be like, "Yo, what them numbers talking about these games?" Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it ain't like he on the page, but it's like it's trippy still to be like, damn, bro, you was really in this shit, like, you know what I mean? And it's like, like all he can do is confess his truths to me, but it ain't like he told me some shit like, yeah, like this is a motherfucker that'll tell me like, yeah, I got this money for playing in this game, but he wasn't on that level to get paid to play in the game like that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, gotcha.
But it's like this shit's trippy. And then Larry Kidd's playing right now. You know what I mean? They play 4 Catholic teams. You know what I mean? His son Tyree Kettner plays for Albany right now. Like, I just went to them versus St. Joe Prep. And it's like, I'm watching them play. Like, he's playing, but what the fuck is going on? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what is really going on? Clearly the refs and all that shit got something going on, but it's like, and then when the death part comes in a play, that shit gets trippy, man. So, Zach, thank you. I appreciate all this. I appreciate like the time on the platform and you going through this, because like I went through it myself, but it's like I'm not as sharp with trying to decipher what's going on. I don't know all the numbers.
Well, I appreciate bringing up the example, and sorry about your cousin. And just one more thing that's standing out to me about his passing, now that I really think about it, is he also died 38 days before the anniversary of his NBA debut. So,
right. And Elton Brand was his roommate when they got to the Bulls. He was drafted the same year as Elton Brand. And I remember Elton Brand getting a job for the Sixers too. And he got tickets for us to come down to the game and shit. Him and his son. But this was after the passing.
After the passing?
Yeah, that's after the passing.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, shit, how did Elton Brand even know where to reach you guys at, though? That's the crazy part.
Well, yeah, he still tapped in with his son's mom and shit. But
no, I'm just saying, that's just like, that's, unless, they definitely stayed in touch, that's just like, situation for, like our cousin, like to pass away, the next, Elton Brand giving us tickets. It's just like, damn, like, how do they even know where we stayed at? That's all. I mean,
it's more questions to that Elton Brand shit too, because it's like he's supposed. I can't like factually say because I wasn't there, because he was in Indiana. You know what I mean? When he passed stuff, I'm in Philly. But supposedly Elton like had donated towards like funeral services and whatever like that. But I don't know those facts. I just heard that's like through the grapevine.
I'll tell you what stands out about Elton Brand, because I just had to look. His birthday is March 11th, which is so fitting for the
3/11 or 1/13.
He was 35 years old when your cousin passed, and both Chicago and Catholic equal 35. I know Elton Brand played at Duke. I don't know about his high school. I have to look. But he died 213 days after Elton Brand's birthday, and that is a big number with the NBA Finals. They weren't in it that year, but that number is also connected to death. Death in satanic gematria is 213. It's kind of like Tupac. Tupac's last album while he was alive came out on 213, and he died 213 days later. So, yeah, that's probably another piece of what happened to your cousin, unfortunately.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, man. We got an athletic family. We got a lot of people that play professional level, or almost at least collegiate level. And it's like, I look now, I'm like, damn, this is wild. When I look at the numbers, like I gotta ask you to look up my cousin Nick Moody, because he played for the 49ers for 4 years. And he went to Roman Catholic, played for Florida State.
Like a free safety or some shit.
Linebacker.
Yeah, I know that name. I know you used to hit hard.
Name equal 122. San Francisco equals 122, right?
Yeah.
I remember when he got drafted, we was like, San Fran, like that. What the fuck? Like, he went to Florida State. He was getting phone calls from like Jacksonville and like Tampa Bay and like Kansas City, places around there. And then he went to San Fran. We was like, what? Like, when did San Fran even look at you? Like, and then I look at the numbers. I'm like, oh, that's why. We're in number 54.
That is interesting. So, okay, so he's a relative.
Yeah.
Obviously, and your cousin died on 54 date numerology, 251 days after his birthday, the 54th prime. And then he's wearing 54 in the NFL. And they're relatives.
But he wouldn't be Larry's cousin, because this is a cousin on my father's side, not my mother's side.
I see. Okay, that's strange. Okay.
It's just wild, Zach. I appreciate this right now. I really do, man. This is weird.
You know, it's kind of odd. That's all.
Well, all I got to say about your other family member is, I mean, in case the Niners are the team this year, because that's the way it works, man. The teams start winning championships, and then their former players just start dropping off. I see he's 32 right now, which is a big NFL number.
Right.
NFL's 32 like America, like 32 teams in the league. I think it would be right to give him the heads up. Just, you know, you just never know, man. Look at all these players that die at a young age. So.
Right. And he be sending me Larry Johnson videos when Larry Johnson be going in. Like, they try to get Larry Johnson to go to a little Kansas City Chiefs reunion thing or whatever. And he was like, man, I ain't going to that shit. So y'all could put something in my water.
I saw that Larry Johnson did a gematria breakdown on the event and why he didn't go. I was like, look at that, man. So.
Yeah, man. This stuff, wow, man.
Get more athletes into the knowledge, man. Definitely. So.
Yeah. Well, sorry about your cousin, but at the same time, I do appreciate that he came on and asked about it, because it's another example of what's going on in the world. And the other thing I appreciate you coming on is you're here. I mean, do you think your cousin went off and is living on Celebrity Island now?
Fuck no.
Of course not. That's why I get tired of everybody saying that all these deaths are fake. You guys, there's no reason to think that all the deaths are fake. So Kobe might be alive. I wouldn't be surprised if Kobe's still alive, but I don't even know that he is either. I mean, I don't know. There's no reason to claim things that you don't know. I have so many people that just like arguing in the comments over if they're really dead or not. It's like, what's the point of that? The point is to show that this evil shit is going on. Even if these people are faking their deaths, it's still messed up. Look at the emotional impact it had on the world when Kobe died because he's such a big star. So,
all about the energy,
crazy.
just like the show Utopia. You know, they kept talking about the harvest. You know, that's all it's about. It's all about the energy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean,
I got to look more into this high school.
Roman Catholic, man. They put them people in the league.
Damn, that's so
Roman.
To be so, and this is how it would have been, little bro. So Larry wasn't Larry All-American?
I can't remember. I was young when he was playing in high school. So
he went to UMass, because I think he went to UMass. Because I think he played.
Yeah, he went to UMass. He played. I think he played with Calipari.
Yeah, he did. He played under Calipari. That's what I'm saying. He played with what's the guy that went to Toronto? Marcus Camby.
Marcus Camby, yeah.
Yeah, Camby was the center. Kettner was the forward, bro, because they was top ranked team in the country. Listen, all right, I'm gonna show my age. Listen, I was playing with your cousin and Marcus Camby on Coach K Sega Genesis, bro.
No doubt.
Like real shit. Like, you know what I mean? So like, this is what I'm saying. So Kettner was the first All-American that came out of Roman Catholic. Then, you know, the most like notable ones after that was Rasul and Eddie. And it's crazy how like they all like, well, Eddie passed first in 07, and then Larry, and then Sewell. You know, and to be honest, like it kind of makes sense because Larry and Eddie played the same position at Roman Catholic, which was power forward, and Sewell played small forward. So you know what I mean. And to be honest, he was, you know, if you're gonna go in like popularity and notoriety, it would have been Eddie, then Larry, and then Sewell. You know, just from my knowledge, you know what I mean. But yo, that's just crazy, man. So I was looking at John Calipari to see, like, you know, because he's from Moon Township. He's from PA too. And I think John Calipari's birthday is in January, if I'm not mistaken. But I was literally looking his ass up too.
Yeah, man, it's wild. I'm gonna tell my cut. He was talking about trying to go out to the Super Bowl. I'm like, man, the hell with that shit. Stay, watch that shit at home.
Are you cousin?
Real, but I appreciate y'all coming on and
yeah, you're welcome. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a post on my website about your cousin, and then if you want to share that with your other cousin, you can take a look at it. But I'm just gonna document all the things I just talked about.
For sure.
That'd be a good way for me to show it to people too, because you know what I mean. Besides how I introduce it, but I know a lot of older basketball heads know about Larry Kettner, so that would be that would be a good situation to do. All right, little bro. All right, cousin Zach, I appreciate it.
All right, thanks cousin Marv.
Yeah, look, Marv, if you could you know what I mean, hit me in the chat or whatever, hit my email or something. I mean, we're locked in.
G Moody.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Okay. All right, bet. So once I get off the call or whatever, I'm you know, we're gonna start conversating or whatever. I'm gonna figure out a way to get you my number. So
here,
we're definitely gonna do that.
G Moody, can you see where the private chat is in this thing that you joined? Do you see on the right side where it says private chat?
I'm on my phone right now. Hold on.
This thing you joined on the window, it should show a private chat somewhere in there. If you can see that, I'll post cousin Mar's phone number so you can see it.
Yeah, I see. I mean, I see. I'm on two screens for sure.
Right now, like what's written in there is somebody wrote "yo" and another person wrote "I'm in the waiting room." Can you see? You wrote "I'm in the waiting room."
Yeah, I wrote "I'm in the waiting room." Yeah.
Yeah, that's you. So all right, I'm gonna post his number right now, real quick, and I'm gonna end this stream. Keep his number private, but hold on. Let me get it in there.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I don't need to be getting.
Okay, I just posted it. Yeah, so
all right, I got it. Yeah, I screenshot it, so it's good.
All right, we're good. All right, I'm going to end the stream right there. I'm going to put that post up for you guys so you can share that with your friends and family.
Appreciate it.
I'll be back tonight for everybody else for TFR. But thanks again, everybody who became part of the stream. And thanks for calling in, G Moody. And again, sorry about your cousin. But at the same time, thank you, because this is the documentation we need day after day to continue to show what's going on. And again, all roads are leading to Rome. Why does this keep happening to all these players that went to these Roman Catholic high schools? It's the same thing with the Georgia Bulldog player over the weekend. So,
yeah. No, that's fact.
All right.
All right, y'all.
All right. Have a good one. Thank you.
Yes.
All right. Later, everybody. See you at TFR.